Hi, this is Paul Sack. It's Good News Planet. I'm speaking to Chris Rowe. Hi, Chris. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Okay, good. You're the CEO of California STEM, S-T-E-M, Learning Network. And we're going to learn about what STEM is. And that STEM, I don't believe, is related to stem cells. It is referring to what, Chris?
STEM refers to science, technology, engineering, and math, the four disciplines that we believe are really crucial to student learning, particularly here in the 21st century.
Okay, one more time. Science, technology,
engineering, and math.
Engineering and math, okay. And it is isn't everything on the planet Earth based on those four letters?
Well, some may argue that, but we believe that these disciplines and these fields are actually very, very essential to all students today, particularly in the world that we live in. As you look around, everything is engineered and designed and built, and technology permeates everything. So we believe these skills are very essential for our students' futures, and that's why we were formed a little bit over 2 years ago as an organization here in California.
Okay. Tell us about the organization. I know you had a major event, and I had a major celebrity behind what you are speaking about. Tell us a lot of good news here.
Yeah, well, as I mentioned, we were formed a little bit over 2 years ago. We are a nonprofit organization that was formed predominantly because here in California, we are actually quite far behind in many of these fields, and that's surprising to a lot of people because they think about, California with Silicon Valley and the Hollywood entertainment industry, that when it comes to, science and engineering and technology in particular, that we're leaders in the country, and we are in many ways. We have more Nobel laureates, more patents, than any other state. Our higher ed for Nobel laureates, more patents, than any other state. Our higher ed institutions are some of the top research universities in the world. But when it comes to educating our students in a lot of these fields, we're actually quite a bit further behind than many other states, and we are actually among the lowest performing states in these fields. So what we're trying to do is to let people know why these fields are so important to our students' future, and then to actually create some new solutions that our students and teachers and parents can actually put into work in their classrooms. So we held actually our third annual summit just 2 weeks ago in beautiful San Diego, California. We had a great turnout with just a tremendous group of people assembled from across the state. And we did have Abdul Jabbar was one of our keynote speakers, which was quite interesting actually. And he was talking about his interest in particular as a former athlete in trying to encourage more students to really use their minds and really to dig into these fields in science and engineering and technology. And he's just written a new children's book very recently that really kind of focuses on this area.
Well, he, as I interviewed him, it might be 10 years ago, and he was speaking about education at that time. But yes, he's focused on that.
He absolutely is, and he's a great spokesperson, and he was named at our summit as the ambassador for STEM in after school by our state superintendent of public instruction. So we were really pleased to have him at the event. We had a great student showcase with a number of different student groups who brought their activities right to the conference, and we're demonstrating the kind of really interesting projects that they're doing in robotics and just some really cool and exciting things that they were doing. And both Kareem and also our state superintendent came and actually spoke to the students, and were looking at what they're doing, and had a really interesting conversation.
Give us an example of one of the projects.
Well, there was really some really fascinating projects, but there was a group of very young students, and they were maybe in second and third grade, a very diverse group of students, boys and girls, and from all different races and ethnicities, that were actually building very interesting robotics and showing them off to the attendees. So, even at that early age, we tend to think that's only the kinds of things that more advanced and older students can do, but even the really young students are really getting into this notion of building things and being able to understand how and why things work. So there's been a real focus on that. and particularly in our classrooms as well. There's I don't know if you're familiar with this, but there's this new what's called Next Generation Science Standards, which are being developed by 26 states together who are working on this. And they will have a big focus in not only having kids understand science concepts, but being able to do the science and actually be able to build things, understand scientific processes, and to be able to formulate experiments and be able to interpret data. So we've got a lot of work to do in order to ensure that these new standards will be implemented. But we are very excited about this because, as you could see from the student groups that were assembled at our conference, they get really excited when they get to do hands-on project-based learning, where they actually get to put into use the concepts that they're learning in the classroom.
Yep, I also have a letter, and I'll be speaking to David Gonzalez. And David is a gentleman who was involved as a student. He's writing a letter here. He's thanking being allowed to assist the Academy and work with the whole SPA-WAR team. Academy has opened up basically many doors for me, and it has really influenced what I want to study in college. I really want to do in my whole life. So, there's one old recommendation you could say.
That's great. That's absolutely great.
And we'll talk to him as well. All right, this is great. What's the website?
Our website is www.cslnet.org. That's CSLNet.org. Or if folks want to look at the summit itself, we downloaded videos and all kinds of presentations from the summit that we just had. And you can go to that website, which is www.castemsummit.com. That's www.castemsummit.com. And that has all the presentations. The event was actually live streamed, and you can actually download the presentations and view them and look at a lot of the presentations online as well. So there's a whole bunch of resources on both of those websites for people to check out.
Great. That's CSA STEM? Is that what it is? I'm sorry.
CSL. I'm sorry, the last website. Yes, it's castemsummit.com. CASTEM.
Okay, beautiful. Great.
Yep, exactly.
Well, Chris, congratulations. Last question. What's good news for you?
Good news for me is that we're very optimistic about the elections tomorrow here in California, and we have a number of big ballot propositions that we're hoping voters will get behind and support education in our state, and that whoever is our elected candidate who wins the presidential election, we believe will definitely put resources into our children's future as well. So that's our good news here in California.